Where can people find investors?
Anywhere.
God just might give you what you want and you might crash out.
And let me tell you something. God will give you exactly what you ask for to show you that it's obtainable.
Remain hungry. You know, there are going to be days where you're not motivated, but at least I'm hungry every day.
Yeah. Being front facing is very important,
Right.
because a lot of people are influenced by the person who's running the business. Be so disgustingly annoying with wanting to be educated on different things.
Yeah.
Selling, I feel like, is something that should be a course in college, because
Creators don't make enough. They don't know how to generate business. They think just being on Instagram and TikTok is enough with their emails.
You have to tell people what you want.
And what you do.
If you don't tell people what you want and what you do, you will never get what you need in this life. You need 500,000? You need $1 million? Put that in your...
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Bree Flemings. We're back at the Content to Cash podcast. I was able to not just get one of the dopest people I've ever met, to be honest, here.
Oh, stop.
But we're going to have to get right into it. This is one of my investors. She's the reason why I got my first check for $120,000 in my pre-seed round. All right. I don't know if y'all remember, but I went from laid off at some point, and 6 weeks later, I got my first investor for Gem Social. So can we bring in Zaria all the way from Atlanta? How are you?
Yes, we are good.
You do.
We're in the
We
A
are
now.
We are good. You in the H right now, but you
I'm in
live
the H
A.
right now, but I'm living in the A right now.
Look, I have to ask so many questions before we get into the deep core of this, because you were living in DC when I met you.
Yes, in the DMV.
Now you live in Atlanta.
We're in Atlanta, the Black Mecca.
Yeah.
And you know me.
Yes.
I'm going to put some money in some Black people's pockets.
You are. You really are. You really are. So let's get into a little bit about yourself. So I know I actually had got your bio, but we have extra time today. Yes. So I love when people get to kind of honestly talk about their own perspective of who you are, right? So who are you?
Oh, wow. You know, that is such a depth question, because now I'm asking myself that. But I am a thinker. I am learning to be logic, but right now, a background, you know, from North Carolina,
right?
Graduated from the best HBCU, North Carolina A&T, Aggie Pride, majored in speech pathology, audiology, and I think sometimes people are like, "How are you in technology and finance?"
Yeah.
But I think the older we get, it's just kind of like do everything and learn as much as you can.
Yeah.
And that's, I think what we like to say, like jumped off the porch.
Yeah.
Out of college. And
you really did. I mean, you graduated and then you started at AWS, right?
Yes. Amazon Web Services. COVID was a huge influence. I think COVID changed a lot of people's perspective on what they can do and their abilities. I know some people, you know, are like, the pandemic was obviously something that was a thing.
A thing, yeah.
But I think
changed a lot for a lot of people.
It changed a lot for a lot of people in great ways. You know, they discovered, hey, maybe I'm great at these different skills. And you know, I love to study the brain. I took neurology, and I still just love the art of the brain. And I think when you put yourself in pressure situations where it's like, what can I learn? We ended up in technology and finance. And then, you know, everything is, you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And I'm just blessed to know that I had the ability to discover investing, networking, but putting money into people's pockets who are trying to heal markets.
Yes. Heavy on healing markets. And I can't wait till we get into that, because even in the world of products, SaaS, you know, apps,
everything, AI.
So many things have changed even since we met.
Yes.
You know, now can we get a little bit of background on your career? You know, what do you do career-wise?
Right. So right now we are actually in small, medium businesses.
Okay.
So still, of course, working with early stage, but now I am with companies who have a larger budget.
Yeah.
But AI is booming.
Yeah.
I'm currently at Salesforce, and you know, going into venture, you're looking at all of these different nuances of companies. But now that I am at a large enterprise company, it's like AI is really something that if you don't see it for what it does in the background, like it's not just your chatbots, it's not just your chat GPTs, it's not just your Claude, but it's genuinely something that reduces time, curates more money, and gives people the ability to get an idea. And I definitely want to lean into that because I think AI scares individuals of thinking it's going to take jobs. But genuinely, at the end of the day, you can't do something well without humans.
Yes, I agree. And I think that in this time, especially 2026 and probably even part of 2027, 2028 for the late people that are come on to AI, I think it's going to have to be delegating what is worth giving to AI versus what is worth having a human do, right? Because there is a lot of junk work that can be given. I create AI agents all the time. I even had an AI agent responding to you. You know, I have a podcast AI agent. So it'll pitch people. It will, once you guys say yes or I'm interested, like the AI will read that and it will send you guys another email, you know, whether it's the same day or the day after. Well, I can't remember that part, but it's triggers. So it will trigger a response so it can get your bio, your headshot, all the information we need. And then after that, it sends me a ClickUp task to book the podcast. So I don't need to be doing all that. Why would I need to do all that manual work? You know what I'm saying? But all I got to do is book the podcast and then it even prepares the questions. Now we still ask if there's any questions y'all want, of course, because we want to be fair, but that's AI. You know what I'm saying? All of that is AI. So I always tell people like, if you don't know how to actually, or what system to actually set up with AI or an agent, think about and write all the manual tasks that you're doing right now, and then put it in ChatGPT and see how you can automate it. And then you can choose the tool. Like we use Zapier and ClickUp for some of our stuff. So I think that's cool. And then with Salesforce, I actually went to a session that Salesforce had during Afrotech about AI agents. That's what changed the game for me. And it was showing me AI agents even for business development representatives / sales development representatives. So starting next week, we have an AI agent that's going to literally pitch 100,000 brands every 45 days. 100,000?
It's a lot.
That's like,
I mean, and just imagine working for the company that's building all of that. We get to see a lot, like there's so much coming out this year. And I think people should be excited, but not lose their creativity. And I think that's something AI is doing to a lot of people is just kind of like people aren't thinking as much anymore. And I feel like for me, I'm trying to de-influence myself from just going to Chat GPT. At first, when it came out, abused it. But, even with investors, you know, and definitely want to touch on that topic about the clash between businesses and AI. You know, you cannot allow AI to run your business.
No.
You need the ability to find the difference because humans, we have the capabilities of creating any environment that makes it unique, differentiates, you know, and again, we like to say disrupt, but again, change the way we think in the market. And so when you go to AI, I don't want to say it's giving everybody kind of the same thing. But it's not giving you the ability to understand like all of the neurons in your brain that can genuinely deploy data into your businesses. And that's why Gem Social is so brilliant. Because you allow like, and you started Gem before AI was this huge thing. And of course, other individuals are like, oh, freelance is, you have to be creative and do X, Y, Z. But you created an environment for creators and just individuals who have talent.
Exactly. The whole point is for creators to create and get paid and for brands to leverage creative ads, you know, because they, you know, creative storytelling, especially this year, you know, I was looking at market research on how creative storytelling ads and UGC ads are way outperforming.
And you're giving, you know, full-time jobs. Do you know that?
Exactly.
Because you also, you have health benefits. That's a job. Those are people's livelihoods. And I'm not saying that AI cannot deploy that. But you're thinking about
what people
the resources what people need.
Exactly. And this year, because we know, and I know because I create as well. I literally just shot a brand deal right before you got here,
Right.
you know? So I see both sides. I'm a brand, but I also am a creator. What I would use as a creator is I would use AI to just do the manual part for you,
Right.
you know, finding the tools to get out the content faster, get the clips out faster. CapCut is a great example.
It is.
It has AI features in there where it can get things done faster for you. That's a good way to use it.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get back from our commercial break, we are going to talk a little bit deeper on, you know, ways that you could leverage AI, you know, because I want to ask you how you're using it in your roles.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want to talk about what
We need
investors
to talk
are
about your
looking back.
story, though.
Yeah. Oh, we are.
And how we
Oh, yeah. We are.
just,
We are.
y'all, I love Brianna. I'm so proud of her. You all have no idea. Like, this is someone who I just cherish so much. Her business, like, you were just such inspiration. So I'm excited to get into it.
Oh, we're going to get into it. So when we get back from our commercial break, we are going to talk about our story, you know, how we met, like, transparently. We are going to talk about AI in the investment world too, because sometimes people think, oh, I have an AI business, I'll just get a check. That's not true.
It's not true.
That is not true, especially because there's a lot more AI businesses out here than ever before. And then I also want to talk about other parts of the investment thesis, even from your own brain, like what you are willing to invest in this year and moving on. So when we're back, we're going to get into it.
Yes.
We are back from the commercial break. Thank y'all. We missed y'all. Okay. All right. So we were on the AI topic, y'all. And I was mentioning, you know, with AI, there's more apps and more technology come out faster than ever. Like, let's be honest, right? But that does make, you know, the market more saturated. So from your opinion, right, when it comes to AI startups, what would you particularly, not the company that you work for, not the companies you've been with in the past, because you are an investor too, right? So what would you look for in an AI startup or an AI enabled startup? Because everything has an AI wrapper around it nowadays.
Something that I think founders should do is, one, stop throwing AI in the name.
Yep.
Founders should not only readjust their names, because a lot of companies have AI.
Right.
And they're not configuring it in a way that a lot of their users are understanding, or sometimes themselves. And everyone thinks that AI is just algorithm and automations, but it's genuinely understanding how is it making your users connect to your product, but also how are you using it and making it more simple for your business as well, to retain time and money.
Right.
Startups need to take a step back sometime again and think.
Yeah.
Don't let AI build your business.
Yeah.
Build your business and have AI manage the manuals.
Right.
And with investors right now and investments, it's a battle because investors can figure out your market and kind of predict the future with AI based off of your business.
Right.
So it's one of those things that if you can defend your business before the artificial intelligence does, and you, one, not only, again, understand the market that you're going into, but how are you going to fix it? You have to be doctors.
How are you going to fix it?
You have to be doctors as a founder. What are you fixing? Who are you helping? Are your users generally having an experience where they're comfortable?
That's real. That is real. And honestly, she just gave y'all $1 million advice. We don't even need to talk anymore. Like, because even me as a founder, right? You know, let's go back to how we met.
Yes.
Let's go back, you know, a quick bit on how we met. You know, I was referred, you know, by Antonio. Shout out to Antonio. And
shout out Antonio.
Shout out Antonio, for real, you know. And I was referred. I chatted with Antonio during Art Basel. This was December. This was the year, like, this is like 6 months before I got referred.
Okay.
I'm trying to keep up with the years. The years flying by.
Oh my
goodness.
It's like
everything is like 2023.
Like when you grow up, the days aren't even days. It's just like, I'm waking up, I'm getting to the money.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, shoot, like it's 2026 now. So like, I can't
Time
remember.
is flying.
Like, you know, it was either December 2023 or 2024, one of those. But I remember me and him sat across from each other and he was like, what do you want this year? Like, or coming up? Because, you know, our Basel in Miami's in December. It's perfect time to start thinking about next year. And I said, I want my first investor. I was like, I'm not trying to raise like $500,000 right now, but like just a six-figure check, you know? And I was like, and I want to take time to really figure out why creators aren't making the money that they need to make. Right. And that comes from all sides, DJs, UGC creators, influencers, artists, like, and it all comes down to the same thing, but it took me time to get there, y'all. Cause what did you just say? You know, doctors, how long are doctors in school for?
They're in school for time.
They're in school for quite some time. They don't just know it from a year.
And that's another, like, God, there's so many rabbit holes we can go down, but some people are so ready for instant gratification.
Right.
When it comes to their business.
Yeah. And I've never been like that.
You need a foundation. You need a rock.
Yeah. And that's where, when I met you, that's where that came in, because I was transparent from the jump. I knew that Gem Social to many investors did not look scalable.
Yes.
Because of how I was pitching it. Mm-hmm. But y'all invested in you, especially because you are the one that got me into that program, invested into the founder.
Yes.
You knew I would get it at some point. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one, I have to just say, I love you so much.
I love you so much. Brianna, I love you.
Because you betted on me.
I did.
You know, you betted on me. And that's the part where that's getting even like less saturated now. People aren't just betting on founders anymore, right? Yeah. They really need to see if there's a foundation, if this is scalable. I mean, because...
And are you scrappy?
Right.
And Brianna,
yeah,
you are... I don't even want to say scrappy because that just sounds... You are so curious.
Yeah.
And I don't even like to say what you do does not work.
Right.
When you do something, it fixates itself.
Yeah.
And you build off of
yeah
what you're building. And I think sometimes founders, they think they're breaking and they're like, oh, this isn't working. No, it's working. You're just trying to figure out your internal business.
Yeah.
It's okay to rebuild. I've met founders who have had the same business. They just renamed it.
Yeah.
And then the business model looks different until it works.
Exactly.
And you
pivot. That's where pivot.
Pivot should be a huge word for a lot of people. I call myself a pivot princess.
I'm a pivot her.
Okay.
You know, pivot her. Because I'm her and I do pivot. Yes. And I feel like that's where I had to get, you know. So when I got with NextCube, and keep in mind, y'all, for full transparency, NextCube invested $120,000 into the business.
And it was a fund that invested in HBCU founders, faculty or team founders.
Yep.
Mostly technology SaaS companies that were being built. I was the program director and investor, and I just had the lovely pleasure of just going through all of your interviews and doing the due diligence.
Yeah.
I believed in your business so much because you're fixing. You had the idea to say, like, there's so many influencers. The influencer business, that's a business in its own. I think we all know that. Forbes is like Forbes. You just have everything. Influencers are running the world.
Creator economy. And everyone should have a creative bone in their body. But you have created a platform that allows creators to make this their full time. And can I say something? Since we've met, the creator economy has doubled.
Oh, yes.
Doubled.
Yes.
You know, how much it was worth has doubled, which is more than what I expected and put in my pitch deck. Gem Social 40x'd in revenue in a year.
You're definitely one of the best 120,000 that we deployed.
And out of the 120,000 that was put into the account, we still have 110.
But you want to know why?
We're profitable.
Founders generally need to look at their revenue model.
Yes. Because and that's where, you know, this is where founders, you guys really need to zone in. The business model that you sell to investors at some point is probably going to pivot. Just letting you know. Look at how much, if I had AI in the way that is matured now, back then, you know, I probably would have discovered a few things faster because I would have known how to use it because I have a programmer brain.
Right.
I have a systems brain. Mm-hmm. I always want to know how things fit. Now, going back to the research, because like I said, doctors have been in med school for quite some time.
A long time.
And then they gave real life experience.
Honestly,
mm-hmm.
Founders need to look at themselves as doctors.
Yeah, that's exactly how I look at it.
It takes time.
Yeah, you have to diagnose the problem. My problem to this day is that creators don't make enough, or that creators do not know or where to source opportunities. Mm-hmm. But I've learned this year that also creators don't know how to sell. That's the biggest problem.
Yes.
They don't know how to sell. They don't know how to generate business. They think just being on Instagram and TikTok is enough with their emails there. That is not enough.
And granted, being front facing is very important.
Right.
Because I actually seen a podcast about you have to get in front. Like, this is the year where if people aren't seeing you, because again, a lot of people are influenced by the person who's running the business.
Right.
You have to look at your users, understand what you're going into, but your personal brand.
Yep.
You're a creator. So why would you not be in front of a podcast?
Exactly. And that's why I said this year, my investment is going to go into podcasting because it's time for me to establish authority.
Yes.
Founders should also establish authority. And creators, you should also establish authority. For example, if you're a photographer, establish authority around photography. Make good content about quality shots, quality content, quality filters, whatever. Because guess what? Not only are you going to get more bookings as a photographer,
yes,
you're also going to get brand deals from like the Adobes, the CapCuts, like all that stuff. Like, you have to establish authority this year because everybody's saying the same shit.
Yeah. Everyone is saying the same thing. And to go back on your point about selling, because I started in tech sales with AWS, and I grew my love for startups, learning businesses, understanding what they're doing. I also built my first accelerator with Charlotte Newman. Shout out to Charlotte. Shout out to Tiffany Johnson. She is at Microsoft, director over there with startups. And Lily Zhu, who is also still at AWS. Those are the women who have influenced my life so much. We built an accelerator that was on the Harvard Business Campus for 2 weeks.
Right.
And it was called Next Gen. And it made me realize that founders genuinely need to understand selling and how to articulate your business enough to, like me, I'm one of those people where I will go to a website and I will ask ChatGPT or something. I need a source to know, like, is this functional? Right. Do I trust this website?
Right.
Clothing brands. Is it real?
Is it real? And
so selling is so interesting because going into tech sales after being in speech pathology and audiology, I was supposed to be an otolaryngologist. If you ever had if you ever had a camera in your nose, down your throat, and you had like laryngitis, that's what I was going to do.
Look at how you pivoted.
But I always say I could go back and get my master's, but that's a whole nother topic.
Right.
And again, we have such a long life. I think people should take this time this year to genuinely just do what you're interested in.
Right.
Remain interested. Remain interesting.
Yeah.
Like, some people don't know I play the piano. And I love poetry. I actually write a lot of poetry. I love to journal. I want to write a book one day. Like, there's just so many. I like to paint. There's so many different levels to myself. I love tech sales. I also love the brain. Hell, I'd be a neurologist.
Yeah.
Be so disgustingly annoying with wanting to be educated on different things.
Yeah.
And again, selling, I feel like, is something that should be a course in college because it teaches you how to persuade, but an emotional intelligence. How do you mirror the person you're talking to? How do you meet them where they are? With your customer.
How do you meet them where you are?
How do you meet them where they are? Because sometimes you got to think about it. Your customer has a capacity of what they're looking for. Are you making it simple for them to have an experience of just going on the website and getting exactly what they want? Or are you going to throw so many pages in front of them when they're like, hey, I want to go here, get this, be done. Simplicity, simplify to invent. That is just the notion things should be.
You remember the KISS model? Keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple. And don't get me wrong, I love complexity. But with businesses, understand being simple for your users allows adjustment. Yeah. But it also keeps people coming back. Because Amazon, how easy is it to just go on there, you see pictures, add to cart. Do you want to buy right now? Do you want to? Done.
Suggestions too?
Done.
Yeah.
Understanding your business model, understanding your revenue model, and then also taking a step back. You know, there's so many people in the diverse space who are building businesses. Understand if your business needs VC funding.
Because not every company
needs venture capital funding. See if your business can go into the private market. See if your business...
Let's stop there because people might start getting confused. What is the private equity business or private market?
Oh God, it's so detailed, but you're not in the public market.
Right.
But it's when you're about to, there's like VC is scalable. You need networking. But when you're in the private equity space and being PE backed, y'all are married right there. You can have multiple VCs invest in your business. But when you think about going into PE, it's those nuances of investment is lifelong, but that's money where hey, we're in the private market and we're scaling 10x.
Okay.
Understand that individuals who seek funding, sometimes you can even do grants.
Right.
That's another thing coming soon, that I'm building a business.
Plug for grants.
The plug for grants. I'm building a business right now to be, continued with that. Happy to launch it. Yeah. But with all of the different funding strategies, a lot of founders are getting VC happy because it's a buzzword.
It is.
Understand your model first. Do you even need to be venture backed? Because a lot of businesses, like your business right now, we're the only VC that has invested.
Yep.
And you have
angels.
And some angels, and you've taken off. Understand syndicates, understand angels, understand PE, and understand VC. And understand your own business model, because some founders don't even realize your model can be so strong, you might not need any of them.
And founders, I really do encourage y'all to get scrappy, because the internet's right here. ChatGPT is here. Figure out with your budget how you can at least launch a minimal viable product, aka MVP, because there's Lovable out here, there's Replit, there's Base 66, there's all the tools that you need. It has never been easier to launch an app than ever before. And I have a background in computer science.
Yes.
I went to school for it and still had to get a developer because I only knew front end. I wasn't good at back end. I wasn't good with learning about databases and all that. I knew all the foundational stuff to hire the right person, but I did not know it enough where I can build it. Now I build a lot of features with Lovable and just hand it to my team because it eliminates less rework instead of just giving them a technical requirement and then, and then maybe a design. So now I'm paying for every page of a design plus the time to write the requirements. Now I just write the requirements with Lovable and give them a link. I don't even have to.
And make it real.
And make it real.
Like we said.
Yeah.
People have these ideas and they're making these businesses.
Yep.
Allow it to breathe.
Yeah.
Make it come alive. People want to see it.
It doesn't for feedback.
Just people want to see it.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yep.
You have to get it out there. And I always love the example of Instagram. Remember when Instagram first came out? And let's be honest, it was horrible.
It was hard. It was ugly.
It was horrible. But people love the updates.
Yeah.
Going into your business, phases, phase 1, phase 2, you can have as many phases in your businesses for it to continue to grow, but you have to let it breathe. You have to allow your business to come alive. There's so many founders with great ideas.
Yeah.
There's so many founders who have the technology. Right. And then there's so many founders who might not have the technology, but the idea is there.
Yeah.
Get someone to help you. Vibe coding it's like we're in one of the best eras of technology, and people have to allow themselves to make it real. And just, I always like to go back to the bread and butter of being grit, but you have to pray in front of your business. Yeah. And don't be surprised when things start moving. And when they move, you have to adjust.
Yeah. You have to be willing to adjust.
You have to be willing to adjust in the growth of your business. And then I think also, I love when I meet founders and they're like, this was just an idea and it's so big. And then sometimes they can't handle the demand in their business. Be prepared for the scale. Because when you make something great, why are you surprised that you have 60,000 users? Mm-hmm. Brianna has 60,000 plus users on Gym. Mm-hmm. And then we're manifesting up to almost 1 million.
Yep. And for context, so people can understand the differences, we have 60,000 registered users on the platform. The access there is that brands can access 30 million plus influencers on there because we're partnered with an API company that allowed us to have all the influencers in the world that fit these niches on there. So that did half of our work as well, because instead of having to promote to creators and to businesses, we could just focus on driving business to creators, right? Mm-hmm. So you need to make sure you architect your business to also do a good amount of work for you and allow it to scale, because now we have systems in place where we have a back end that can allow it to get to millions of users. If we was to have a viral campaign go viral tomorrow, right? You know, we have the systems in place to grow. I think when it comes to founders, they're like, oh yeah, I want that $1 million a year. I want that $10 million a year. I want that $100 million valuation. Do you even have the infrastructure
to obtain that?
That. You want. Mm-hmm. God just might give you what you want and you might crash out.
And let me tell you something. God will give you exactly what you ask for to show you that it's obtainable. Mm-hmm. It's up to you to make it work.
Yeah.
I have prayed for certain things and I wasn't ready for it. Mm-hmm. But he is so intentional because he will say, look, I'm giving it to you because I'm telling you that I can do it. I feel like God sometimes is like, did you think
I wasn't
going to give you it? Right. Let me give you a taste. You're not ready.
Yeah.
But when you are ready, you know how to carry your blessing, especially with your business.
So you mentioned private equity. Mm-hmm. I even struggle exactly what private equity is, right? Versus like venture capital.
Right.
And I don't really research it enough, to be honest, because I'm not interested. But what is private equity?
Yes.
Break it down to someone like a first grader.
Got you. So in first grader terms, think of someone literally owning your business.
Okay.
It's the ownership. Yeah. And you are the stakeholder within the business. So Gym, for example. Mm-hmm.
So if I was in private equity, like what would that look like?
You'd be in the private market.
Okay.
But your stakeholder, and there's ownership of whoever that firm is, who buys you, puts money into you, you grow and scale. Mm-hmm. And that's why it's so important to understand the different funding strategies of your business.
Right. What is that? But what's the difference between that and like a VC investing?
A VC. So I think VC is, when I love VCs because at the end of the day, when VCs deploy capital within your business, when you scale, that money goes back into operations.
Okay.
And they're buying equity.
Right.
That's why it's so important to understand what are syndicate leads, who are angels, why are they important? And even investors, anytime an investor allocates and deploys money to you, you need to squeeze out all of those networks. You need to squeeze out the juices of who they know and what they can do for you. You're giving percentage of your company.
Yeah.
Why would you not take advantage of who they know?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
So founders, my biggest advice when it comes to receiving funds from anyone, who is their network? Mm-hmm. How can they continue to invest in your business?
Right.
Because in my opinion, any check that I have given out to a company as an angel, I'm trying to figure out how they can get more money because they have to grow. Yeah. I want to see that revenue back to me.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we're putting equity in the company and we want to see that return.
Which brings me to my next question. There's two questions I have and this is going to come from a founder's perspective, and we're going to bring you back one day because we have so many. It's such a lot. It's a lot to.
It's
so much to discuss.
So much to discuss.
But how do VCs get their money back?
You have to scale.
Right. But like, what does that look like?
3x, 5x, 10x, that money, however much, by the time they're ready to bring that money back in, it goes into operations so they can continue to invest in more businesses.
But how do they get their money back? Do I have to sell my business or do I just have to scale? Because I'm scaling now at 40x, for example.
Yeah.
So what does
I
that mean
think it
for
just
y'all?
really depends on the conversation. Every VC is so
structure.
On the structure. Yeah. Again, if structure is so important.
Right.
Do some customers, not customers,
founders,
do some founders want to sell? I mean, and believe it or not, what's so interesting too is that some founders don't even know that certain VCs or PE companies, they can replace you as a CEO.
Yeah.
So are you building the business right? Because at the end of the day, they put money into you.
Right.
And these businesses need to work.
Yeah.
So as a founder, when you receive funding, take that with heart because they seen something in you. And what makes me sad sometimes, because you know how hard I was as a program director. If you all were not on top of it, it's not the idea of just wanting to get returns. This is still your business. We're putting money into you, but are you going to let all of this go away so someone can take away your business and now you have another individual?
I've seen it many times where founders have raised a couple $100,000 to a couple million and there's nothing. I still see
but just to be replaced.
Products. Yep. Or get replaced.
And
the founder of Groupon was replaced.
Exactly. And that's why private equity, you can get replaced easily, especially because if you have stakeholders in your company who have put so much and they have ownership, you're not running the business right, they will find somebody else who will. So that's why if you're a startup going into small, medium business, whatever it is take your business serious.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you can get replaced. But also, why would you want to give somebody else your idea?
Right. And I'll be damned.
Okay.
I'll be damned. And that just gave me even more motivation. I would be damned if someone took my business.
Took your business. But you see them scale and make money because of your laziness.
Yep. Because being lazy, it will do it. My last question, because I know people are like, all right, let's get to this question. I need to know. There's someone out here looking for investors right now. So where can people find investors?
Anywhere. Oh, I love this question because you have to tell people what you want. I have the job that I have today because I put my phone in a senior director's face and said, look at my resume at the club, by the way. You have to tell people what you want.
And what you do.
If you don't tell people what you want and what you do, you will never get what you need in this life.
Right.
Make money off of telling people exactly what you want.
And that's what you should do when you're networking.
In the grocery store, you'd be surprised who do you run into. Have a conversation. My name is Zaria Smith. I love technology. I want to continue to grow businesses. Oh, I have a business. I actually need to, XYZ. Me and my best friend, we're building our business right now. Ryan Jones, shout out to you.
Whom is another investor in Gem Social.
Yes, my best friend Ryan. She is so brilliant. I can't wait to have her one day on here too. But we help businesses with their due diligence. And sometimes we're just talking to people and they're like, I don't know how to build my business. I don't know how to put a data room. And I know I'm probably spitballing words that some people don't know, but data room, due diligence, whatever.
Start looking it up, y'all. Start doing your research.
We help make it easier for founders to be investor ready.
Yes.
So again, our clientele comes from telling people what we do.
Yeah.
And then their existence comes from what they need.
Yep.
If you don't tell someone exactly what you need, most angel investors and syndicates.
because that's what I did with Antonio.
Most angel investors and syndicate leads are right beside you. Yeah. And there's some people, honestly, believe it or not, it doesn't have to be these big firms. A $500 check, believe it or not, will take your business far.
Yep.
Your family and friends round. Understand the rounds, understand what you need. And my biggest thing for founders as well is Tell people how much you want.
Yeah.
You need 500,000? You need $1 million? Put that in your deck. Articulate it. And what are you going to do with it?
Yeah. What are you going to do with it? Break it down.
Do not be scared to ask for money.
And
as a woman, I know some people laugh about that.
And I'm going to ask too. Another thing is, do you think founders, especially that look like me and you.
Yes.
Do you suggest that they go to a conference like Afrotech?
I love Afrotech. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to just have conversations with the investors that are there. Yeah. There are people in the conference who are ready to invest.
That can cut a $5,000 check right now.
That can cut a $5,000, $2,000. I think people have this idea of you need someone who's going to allocate this large check.
Yeah.
And even individuals who want to be investors.
Yep.
Like, I want women specifically, especially Black women, to invest in what they love. You love clothing brands. You want to see a new makeup brand, Gym Social, anything.
You see Angel Reese just invested in topicals.
And so you can literally just whatever you want.
Let the Brown.
Invest in whatever you want. Do not be scared to write a check if you have the ability.
And I'm going to get free game, y'all. I raised capital because of my content too. I talk about exactly what I'm looking for.
Yes.
When I was in that space, when I had just got my first check, I was like, all right, I got to get more, you know, because I knew that I wanted at least upwards to 200K for what I was looking to do and how I was breaking it down. And I did that because I did apply for grants. I won a couple pitch competitions, and I'm going to say something, people think, oh, don't do pitch competitions. It's biased. It is biased. I will say that it is biased most of the time.
But do it.
But do it, because guess what? This world is biased.
Yes.
This economy is biased. The politics are biased. A lot of things are biased. Customers are biased. So guess what? Get used to it and get over it. I also would tell people, do pitch competitions because your customers might be in that audience. I have made money and found investors by just pitching something at a competition I knew I was going to lose. I didn't care. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for the judges. Primarily, I'm here because I want people to know about my damn business.
Yes. And know who the hell you are. I love this so much because individuals do not realize you have to articulate what you're doing.
Period.
Tell people what you're doing. And my last words of encouragement and for 2026 for new business owners, individuals who are thinking about what they want to do, people who are looking, founders, CEOs who are looking for funding, individuals who don't want to be a founder and you just want to be an investor. Look for people who are doing cool things. Invest in what you like. Keep it sexy in what you love. And ask for money.
Just ask. If you're looking to raise money from investors, guess what you have to get used to doing? Asking. Oh, I don't want to beg. Well,
keep that hand out. What song is that by JT?
Sure, I don't even know.
Keep your hands out and remain confident. At the end of the day, it's your business. Scaling is sexy. Doing what you love is sexy.
And do the research, because
do your research, God, please.
It is not investors' job to do the research. You should be doing. If you want people to invest in you, I don't care if that's a loan. You should research, what you would have to repay, right? There's so many different ways to get investors in this market, in this, especially in today's world. But there's even more of a reason for you to do your research. It's much easier now to do the research. I didn't understand a lot of terms when I was looking for investors, but I got right to it because I'm like, I need to understand this. I need to understand this in conversation. So we have to bring you back. Yes. Zaria, thank you so much.
I want to share one last thing.
What is it? Hold on. Editor, please take that last part out and redo this. Okay, hold on. I really do appreciate this conversation, but
something that founders also need to take heed in is think from an investor's perspective.
Yeah.
While you're growing that business, understand what investors do. Understand how VC works. Understand how private equity works, how angels work, but think from their perspective.
Yeah.
Be on both sides. Because as someone within the investment space, I don't know all founders how they think, but I've learned because I deal with founders all the time,
right,
and CEOs all the time. but CEOs and founders need to start thinking like investors. Would you invest in your own company? Sometimes some founders need to ask themselves that. Would you invest in your own company?
Right.
When you go to an investor and you say, hey,
Right.
this is what I have. Would you put money into what you have currently?
Right.
And if you're hesitant, continue to work. And it's okay. Nurture it, water it, but
I agree.
learn both sides. Be disgustingly educated in all sides of your business.
Because it'll help you build a better and scalable business.
Yes.
That's how I got. And remain hungry. You know, maybe there are going to be days where you're not motivated, but at least I'm hungry every day.
Yeah. And
I'm curious every day. You know,
wake up with want to exceed, achieve, and transform, because everything is going to grow. But Brianna, I love you.
I love you.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming from Atlanta.
Look, if you all are ever in Atlanta and want to connect, my name is Zaria Pompey Smith on LinkedIn. I do have an Instagram as well. You're happy to connect with me from there. But if you want to talk about business, if you need a liaison, if you need someone who is a backbone, I am here. I love founders. I love startups. I love women in tech, women in business. If you want to learn how to sell, if you want to talk about just what does investment look like, if you want to learn how to be an angel, I'm happy to shake hands with anybody, talk, network. And again, I have some big things coming this year. So keep following up with me. And Brianna, just thank you.
Of course. And again, y'all could go to her, you know, and it's a paid service now. But I'm making it clear, because people like free, not this year.
Freemium.
Yeah, freemium, you know, but if you guys need to get through due diligence and don't understand these terms, it's worth investing in yourself to learn these terms. It's worth investing into your pitch deck.
Yes.
Too, right? And your presence.
And your data room.
How
to pitch.
And if you don't know what a data room is, then you definitely need to hit up Zaria. So please connect with her on LinkedIn, you know, reach out to her, schedule some time with her. I encourage y'all to do it, because I pay for advisement and mentorship all the time, and things that I really don't know. Sales, you know, I really had to invest in learning sales. It wasn't my thing. I had to invest in learning how to properly hire, you know, so please figure out the things.
Another rabbit hole.
Another rabbit hole but
who to hire.
Learn, stay curious, and pay for the things that you really do need to learn, that you don't understand, even with ChatGPT. It's your girl, Brie Flemons. Thank you for Content to Cash. You know, thank you for listening to Content to Cash podcast. Make sure you guys download Gem Social, and I will talk to y'all in the next episode. See y'all later.